It was 59, early in the season, October. We're playing at Huddersfield Town, and two people came from this club, walked down the slope and asked me if I'd go to Liverpool. It was as blunt as that. And a few months later, it came to pass. That was it.
And it came to pass that a working-class messiah had come to Liverpool.
There was potential here. There was people here with the same kind of fervour as me. So I'm one of the people. I'm just one of the people that stands in the cup. They think the same as I do, and I think the same as they do. So that there was a kind of marriage of people that liked each other.
The marriage was a happy one. Bill Shankly's career at Liverpool demonstrates dramatically the importance the gentleman's game of football came to have for industrial workers. It became a focus of working-class identity in the greyness of industrial society. Liverpool won the league championship in 1964 for the first time since 1947. Along with the title, the manager and his players gave their supporters pride in themselves. It was a pride Bill Shankly shared in.
He was always boasting his own club. You know, he would say, Matt, we played another club, Sheffield Wednesday or somebody, another. By God, they played well. And you say, oh, they're great. And you say, Bill, how did you finish? And he says, oh, we won 5-1.
Natural enthusiasm, that's the whole thing. It's the greatest thing in the world, natural enthusiasm. Yeah. You're nothing without it.
It's out to Callaghan. Hitting it too far. It's a goal!
The other thing about Shankly, of course, was that nobody ever had a more inspirational effect on footballers. I mean, he believed in the invincibility of Liverpool in particular when he managed them, and he persuaded a lot of his players to share it. He was also a guy who loved drama. A lot of that legendary comment that Bill came out with, a lot of these utterances that have gone into the lore of the game were obviously calculated. I mean, he was brilliant with his spontaneous line, but he had no prejudice against lying in his bed at night thinking up a few.
I think that if a man needs who's playing in front of the public is being well paid, and he doesn't dedicate himself to the job, I would be hard on him. If I could, I'd put him in jail.
He never had a day's illness. He never smoked. He never drank. He once came in. We'd been training, and he used to do all the training himself. He used to do all the five-a-sides. He used to run round with us, and I can see him now. Honest, I can. It brings tears. You can see him now running round with you. He didn't want to appear weak in any way, and he'd be running with you, and he'd be laughing and joking with you. And we've got in at the end of the training light, and he's walked in and he says, "You know something, boys? When I die, I want to be the fittest man ever to die."
I deal with everybody as I think fit in my own mind, and whether they like it or whether they don't doesn't make any difference to me. But I think the study of human nature, that's the main thing. I mean, every player that comes here, from the day he steps in here, the minute he steps in here, he's being watched, he's being scrutinized. And then we're reading him like a book. Then in a month's time we may know everything about him, all his weaknesses and all his strengths. So from the day he comes in here, if he thinks there's nobody watching him, he's got a surprise coming to him.
Shanks' army, this Liverpool side, swarming forward now. Hall. Keegan! Goals pay the rent, and Keegan does his share.
Shanks could never, ever handle cheats. I had thousands of grievances with Shanks, but if you came out and faced him with them, then fine. It was over and done with. He said his point of view, you said yours, you did what he said, and it was over and done with. But at least you got it out. At least you got it out and you'd said it, and Shanks respected for you.
Highway, Liverpool showing the party pieces. He wasn't offside, Smith. Yes!
A team that had been forged in the heat of Bill Shankly's nature was always likely to learn the habit of success. Under his managership, Liverpool won 3 league championships and 2 FA Cups. But the same refusal to compromise that had created the team caused him to leave it disappointingly early. In 1974, he resigned in favour of Bob Paisley.
I think he made a mistake in allowing people, provoking people indeed, to the point where they were able to remove him from the game. And I think it was a tragedy for all of us, and I think quite clearly it was a specific tragedy for Bill.
Keegan.
Under Bob Paisley, Liverpool won the European Cup in 1977, heralding the most successful era in the history of the club. It is no insult to the undoubted ability of Paisley that a lot of people still felt Shankly's presence in the field like an extra player.
I'm walking up them steps. I was fortunate enough to be captain of the club at the time. I'm walking up them steps to pick the European Cup up. And I'm thinking to myself, we've won it, but Shanks really won it because Shanks made Liverpool a club. He made them a team. He gave the fans something to say, hey, that's my team, that's what I want.
When Jock Stein was playing with Albion Rovers, many people might have thought he was just another player, but he had qualities that would make him utterly outstanding as a manager.
Oh, it's inborn. He's a natural man.
Come on, Frank. Come on, Frank.
He's a natural leader of men, and he's a sensible man. He's a fiery man as well, of course, as you know. But he's got ability, and he's able to convey that ability to other people. You understand?
Oh, don't carry it.
And they respect him because he knows what he's talking about.
Push it a bit distance.
So he's just a natural champion. Like Benny Lynch was a natural champion. Stein's a natural champion.
Come on, Jim. Come on. Oh, come on.
It's debatable if there's ever was a better man.
Give you a back.
Oh, yes, I think that, God, it sounded a bit like me, didn't it? Oh, yes. Better not start impersonating him or he might come back and deal with us. But, he was just on his own, wasn't he, the big man? And, I mean, I think those men we've just mentioned were great, great men, and Jock wouldn't want to be called anything other than their equal. But in terms of managing football clubs, I think that he was a repository of all the essential qualities, the hardness, the understanding, the deep perception of the game, but the deep perception of players.
His return to Scotland from the Welsh team Llanelli gave him cup honours with Celtic. It also accidentally prepared the way for what was to be his real contribution to football.
I was fortunate enough. I got a bad ankle injury here, which was possibly the best thing that happened to me. An ankle injury which bothers me even yet. And I was conveniently pushed in to look after the reserve team. Maybe it would just create a job that was created for me, but it turned out good for Celtic and it turned out good for me.
As manager of Dunfermline, he took his club to victory over Celtic in the Scottish Cup final of 1961. After moving to Hibernian, he returned to Celtic Park as manager.
The reason me coming here was at that particular time I had a good offer to go to England. And I discussed it with the chairman of Celtic at the time, and he said out the blue, how would you like to come back? Well, I didn't think it would work, because Celtic have never, I don't think they have ever worked really with a manager having full say. But I was assured that I'd be given full control of the side.
Well, it was totally revolutionary, and I mean in the nice sense, because all of a sudden, football became important. He talked about it. He encouraged people to express themselves, and all of a sudden he gave people belief in themselves. And from being a whole lot of talented individuals, he started to put a unit together that could work for each other and with each other. And obviously within a very, very short time, developed into a real powerful team.
Oh, who's suddenly got his score?
If he's got useful players and he trains them the right way, and he gets them all to do what they can do, well. If he gets them all to do well, the little things they can do, and he merges them all together, it's a form of socialism, without the politics, of course. And they're all helping each other.